Morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of Major League Baseball tonight. We're going to be bringing you Sunday Night Baseball featuring the Detroit Tigers and the Philadelphia Phillies, as this will be the final game of a three-game set between these two first-place clubs. The Phillies won the opener coming from behind to beat Detroit on Friday night. The Tigers followed it up with a victory yesterday behind the pitching of Tariq Skubal. And today it is going to be the newly acquired Charlie Morton going for the Tigers. The last deals made at the deadline for Christopher Sanchez versus Christopher Sanchez of the Philadelphia Phillies, as both of these teams will look to take the winner in this one here tonight. We're first of all going to give you the starting lineups for the visitors from Detroit. Leading off and playing in center field tonight is number 8, Matt Vierling. Batting second at second base is number 25, Gleyber Torres. Hitting third and doing the designated hitting is number 18, Jahmai Jones. And the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 20, Spencer Torkelson. Batting fifth and left field is number 31, Riley Green. Hitting in the sixth spot and playing third base is number 77, Andy Ibanez. Batting seventh and doing the catching is number 13, Dylan Dingler. Batting eighth in right field is Wencio Perez. He wears number 46. And batting ninth, playing shortstop, is number 28, Javier Baez. They're going to be facing Christopher Sanchez, who takes to the hill with a 9-3 record. He's worked 130 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed 110 hits. He's given up 38 runs, 37 of which have been earned, walking 33 and striking out 139, all pitching to a 2.55 earned run average. Well, that's your starting lineup for the visitors from Detroit. Now your starting lineup for the home team, the Philadelphia Phillies. Leading off and playing shortstop, wearing number 7 is Trey Turner. Batting second and doing the designated hitting is number 12, Kyle Schwarber. Hitting third and playing first base is number 3, Bryce Harper. And the cleanup spot and doing the catching is number 10, JT Realmuto. Batting in the fifth spot and playing in right field is number 8, Nick Castellanos. Batting sixth in center field is number 16, Brandon Marsh. Hitting seventh and in left field is number 17, Max Kepler. Batting eighth and playing third base tonight is number 33, Edmundo Sosa. At batting ninth, at second base is number 5, Bryson Stott. And they're going to be facing Charlie Morton, who makes his Tigers debut. For Charlie Morton this year, he is signed a off-season deal with the Baltimore Orioles. He was a trade acquisition at the deadline. The 41-year-old who is 6'5", 215 pounds, has 7 wins and 8 losses on the season. He has pitched himself to a 5.42 ERA. He's worked 101 and a third innings. He's allowed 110 hits. He has walked this year 48 batters and struck out 101. And so Morton, who has bringing with him a wealth of experience, he's got World Series rings in Houston and in Atlanta. He has also pitched in the World Series for Tampa Bay after beginning his career with the Pirates. So he will be on the hill tonight for the Tigers. A late season run for him. He had a bit of a struggle to start the year, but has picked it up as of late. And the Tigers are hoping that he can help them down the stretch, just as their other acquisition, Chris Paddock, has already done. Well, those are your starting lineups for tonight's game. Tigers and Phillies when we come back in just a few. And it is the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel when we return in just a bit. Tigers and Phillies are less than a minute away from getting underway. We'll be back after this musical timeout. The Phillies and the Tigers are almost ready to get underway here in Philadelphia. The slated time is 4:10 for first pitch, but neither team has taken the field yet. The Phillies are about ready to do so. Umpires for tonight's game, it is going to be Nick Marley behind home plate. Vic Arapaza is at first. Brian Walsh is at second. And Mark Ripperger is the third base umpire tonight for this one. It is a beautiful 83 degrees in Philadelphia with clear skies. A little bit of wind blowing in from right field at 4 miles per hour. The first pitch, as I say, 4:10 Pacific or 7:10 Eastern. But they are going to miss out on that one as well. As we said, the Phillies are yet to take to the field. So it is Tigers, Phillies. This is our first game of the day. We were looking at doing a game earlier today, but I have to tell you, after doing that Japanese game last night, it took the stuffing out of us. We are looking forward to giving you this one here. Christopher Sanchez, 9-3, as we said at the top of the stream, 130 2/3 innings pitched. It allowed 110 hits this year so far, so the big left-hander has been getting it done for the Phillies here, as he basically has moved into the spot of the number 3 man in their rotation. Phillies have now taken to the field. He's going to get his tune-up tosses, and we'll be back in about 30 seconds with all the action. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. The Phillies have taken to the field. Sanchez is completing his warm-up tosses, and we are about ready to get this one underway. Top of the order, coming up to bat for Detroit, Vierling, Torres, and Jones to face the lefty. Tigers have a very, what I would call maybe a right-handed hitting lineup in here today against Sanchez. The assassin, Andy Ibanez, is considered to be a left-handed pitching assassin. He usually gets the starts against the lefties for the Tigers. On top of that, they also have those who are not necessarily regulars in Jahmai Jones in the lineup. So it's the flexibility of the roster that A.J. Hinch, the manager, and the general manager, Michael Harris, like, that they can roll out a lineup that is equally as good in their minds as it is going up against a righty. So the pitcher Sanchez has completed his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to get this one underway. Apparently telling time, not a strength of these two teams, with, or at least of the Phillies, of the 4:10 start time. It looks like it is 7:10 start time. It is going to be, it looks like 7:13 possibly before we get our first pitch of the ball game. And I'm not sure why they would make those type of announcements. That's the one thing in the Japanese league that we come to expect, is if they say 10 o'clock, it means 10 o'clock. Or if it's 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Well, here's the first pitch of the ball game. It's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball in at the knees for a called strike. The count is 0-1. We are underway. It is 7:14 local time. Matt Vierling batting from the right side, getting the start in center field tonight, batting .216 with no homers and 7 RBIs. Watches a breaking ball catch the outside corner for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Defensively tonight for the Phillies, from left to right field, it'll be Kepler in left, Marsh in center, and Castellanos in right. As Sanchez kicks and fires, it's a breaking ball, waved that and missed. And on 3 pitches, Matt Vierling is down on strikes for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up Gleyber Torres. Well, for Torres, he's hitting .277. He's got 13 homers and 54 RBIs. He's got an all-star nod with the Tigers this year. As we were talking before, the only left-handed stick in the Tiger lineup is Riley Green tonight. Wensiel Perez is a switch hitter. All the rest are right-handed sticks. As the lefty rocks and delivers, there is a first pitch fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Torres. That is 4 strikes in a row to open the game for the lefty Sanchez. Around the horn from first to third, Harper's at first, Stott at second, shortstop is Turner with Sosa at third. As we finish the rest of the Philly defensive alignment, as there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike with Sanchez and Realmuto behind the plate. Torres waggling the bat, waiting on the offering from the lefty, who, again, ready to deliver. The 0-2 is on the way. And there is a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into right field. Moving over underneath it with plenty of room to make the catch is former Tiger Nick Castellanos, and he is going to retire Torres for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it all up to Jahmai Jones. Well, for Jones, he's hitting .219. He's got 4 homers and 8 RBIs. He got himself off to a pretty good start for the Tigers. And then he has faded a little bit as he swings at a breaking ball and misses. The count is 0-1. He had a relative of his, in fact, his brother, had some Detroit connections as he was with the Detroit Lions as a wide receiver. So Jahmai Jones ready again, and he takes a fastball at 97 inside. The count now runs even at 1-1. His brother was TJ Jones. He also has another brother, Malaki Jones, who was also a wide receiver. And there is a breaking ball that is taken for a called strike. Count goes to 1-2 on Jones. His father, also Andre Jones, played the National Football League for the Detroit Lions. And he unfortunately had passed away in 2011 due to a brain aneurysm. So there is Detroit connections in the family of the Joneses. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And there's a breaking ball, waved at and missed. And Jahmai Jones is down on strikes. He's out for out number 3 here in the first inning. And that is going to do it for the Tigers. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through a half inning. It is the Tigers, nothing, and the Phillies coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. You're listening to the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll return in just a few right after this musical timeout.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Charlie Morton taking to the hill here to face the Phillies in the bottom half of inning number 1. It'll be Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, and Bryce Harper to come to bat to face the newly acquired right-hander. A 41-year-old Morton in his last 11 starts with the Orioles was 7-1 after getting off to a very shaky start for them this season. The first pitch fastball misses off the outside corner at 95, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Morton working from the right side, rocks into the windup and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. It is chopped over to third, fielded on the backhand by Ibanez. He has to hurry. He fires to first, and that is going to retire Turner on a ground out 5-3. So 1 up and 1 away for the Phillies, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter in Kyle Schwarber. Our friend Joe Mann's been in the house tonight. We welcome him to the stream. Thanks for listening in as always, Joe. Schwarber coming to bat. He's hitting .251, 37 homers and 87 runs batted in, hitting from the right side here against Morton, who delivers a first pitch breaking ball that's hammered foul down the right field line. Count is quickly 0-1. Just a quick note looking at Christopher Sanchez, threw 10 pitches in that first inning, and 9 of which were for strikes. Joe says, let's go Tigers. Yeah, speaking from a Mets perspective, you'd have to think that all of a sudden you put on your Tiger hat and are cheering them on. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul, and the count goes to 0-2 on Schwarber. Schwarber hitting from the left side here. Lots of pop in the stick, but also has stolen 10 bases this year, which is kind of surprising. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded softly over to second, fielded by Torres. He flips it to Torkelson at first, and that is going to retire Schwarber on a ground out 4-3 for the second out of the inning. And that is going to leave it all up to Bryce Harper. Well, for Harper, he comes to bat hitting .269. He's got 16 homers and 47 RBIs. He was tossed from Friday's game after arguing a check swing. Wasn't really happy with the call, as the first pitch on the way to him is swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. Count is quickly 0-1. Harper certainly brings the fire and has really been a great fit in Philadelphia. He had some fireworks this week, apparently in the locker room with Commissioner Rob Manfred, as the right-hander Morton delivers. Fastball misses upstairs. The count now goes to 0-2. Check that. Count goes even 1-1. The fireworks had to do with, obviously, there's been talk about the possibility of a work stoppage in Major League Baseball again. Breaking ball swung on and tap foul. Now the count goes to 1-2. And obviously, Rob Manfred represents the owners, and Bryce Harper, who is very active in the player union, not very happy with the ownership. Certainly, there's been a lot of talk about a salary cap being implemented into Major League Baseball, the only league that doesn't have one in North America, as the 1-1 is on the way. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's hammered into the right field corner. It's going to be extra bases all the way to the wall. In after it to pick it up is Wensiel Perez, and he fires it back in. And Bryce Harper has the first hit of the game as he's standing on second with a 2-out double. That is going to bring up the catcher in JT Realmuto. A lot of people will argue and say that the players are overpaid, and that could be true. You could have an argument for that. Certainly the owners are not hurting either. And just like any employee, the players are going to want their fair share and their fair stake. Certainly going to the games in different places in Seattle and seeing the prices of what are being charged to the fans, I have to say that I think the players definitely want their piece of the pie as well, so to speak, as there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 0-1 to Realmuto. Realmuto is hitting .269. He's got 7 homers and 39 runs batted in. Stands in on the right side, waiting on the offering here from Martin, who works himself to the set. He checks Harper at second. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on, and this one is lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. The count is now 0-2 to Realmuto. A very deep Philadelphia lineup. And they are poised to make another run and make some noise in the playoffs, one would think. Harper again establishing his lead at second. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on. Grounded over softly to the right side. Fielded by Torkelson. He's going to step on the bag. And that'll retire Realmuto on a ground out to 3 for the third out of the inning. And that's going to do it for the Phillies here in the first. They had no runs on the benefit of 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're through one complete in Philadelphia. It is the Tigers nothing and the Phillies nothing. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit with all the action right after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. That's right, everybody. We know baseball, and we know it's 0-0 as we are moving to the top half of inning number 2. It'll be Spencer Torkelson, Riley Green, and Andy Ibanez to come to bat. Our friend God is Great is in the house, and of course he is. I'm glad you could make it in tonight for this one. A little bit early in the morning for you. We are glad that you could be here with us this evening. We are going to be back on the airways for some NPB action. The 3-game set between the Lions and the Fighters will be coming up. It'll be Monday night in North America, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, rare afternoon games out of Japan. And so we will be there for the calls of those. Check our channel a little bit later today as we will have those ones posted. Hopefully you can make it in for some late night North American action. Well, Torkelson comes to bat. He's hitting .234. He's got 23 homers and 63 runs batted in. Going into spring training, they weren't sure where Torkelson was going to fit in. In fact, if at all, he had not been playing very well last year. He did get sent down again, but he has been much improved this year. Swings at the first pitch he sees and lines a ball right to the left fielder, Max Kepler, on one hop, and that is going to be a base hit here for Torkelson to start the second. So the Tigers have got something brewing, and that is going to bring up the left fielder in Riley Green. God is Great says Tuesday, Wednesday, big typhoons coming, so some games might be canceled. It's the domed stadiums that we are going to be playing there, and I'm not sure if the game is in Hokkaido or in Saitama, so we'll have to wait and see, or Tokorozawa. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count is 0-1 to Green. I have to say, Nick Marley has been very generous with the calls there. That pitch looked like it was up and in. He has had a little bit of a broad strike zone. As the lefty ready to deliver again, kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count goes to 0-2. Just as long as when I'm flying into Taiwan, there's no typhoon. That would be the unfortunate part. But we are less than 3 weeks away to that. So usually there are typhoons that will hit at this time of the year, and we'll see what happens. There's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. And Green is down on strikes for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the third baseman in Andy Ibanez. I haven't been paying attention to the typhoons, so I usually start looking about a week out or so. Make sure that I can avoid some of that. Certainly where my stay will be. There's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed by Ibanez, and the count is 0-1. Ibanez hitting .238, 3 homers and 17 RBIs. We mentioned at the top of the stream, the Tigers like him because he is very effective against left-handed pitchers. That is what the reason why they've got him in the lineup. There's a breaking ball that misses way outside, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Ibanez waggling the bat. Waiting here from the offering from the lefty Sanchez, who checks the runner Torkelson at first. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1-2 to Ibanez. Now he's asked for time here, so he's got the offensive timeout. Sanchez ready to go back to work now that Marley has put the ball back in play. And here comes the offering from the lefty. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is taken on one hop by the second baseman, Stott. He goes to second for one, but it's not going to be in time. It's going to be a fielder's choice, 4-6, that erases Torkelson for the second out. Ibanez safe on the backside, and that'll bring up the catcher and Dylan Dingler. Well, for Dingler, he's hitting .275. He's got 9 homers to go with 42 runs batted in. Remember a couple of years ago, the Tigers took Dingler out of Ohio State University. He was a second-round pick. And there were some scouts that were saying, was he going to get to the big leagues? Is he going to play much? There's a fastball swung on. This is grounded over to second. Fielded by Stott. He throws to first, and Dingler is going to be gone on a ground out 4-3. I'll save that story for the next time he comes up, because the Tigers are done here in their half of the second inning. Well, they get a hit, but that's all they get off of Sanchez. There was no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the second inning. It is the Phillies nothing and the Tigers nothing. Stay with us, everybody. It is old school radio style broadcast on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this timeout. We share with you our friend Steve Rademacher, who will poke his head in from time to time throughout the stream tonight. This is Steve. This is his channel. Check him out when you get a chance. He's got all kinds of crazy and wacky stuff. We'll be right back in just a few.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters to come to bat for the Phillies. That means Nick Castellanos, Brandon Marsh, and Max Kepler to face Charlie Morton here in his second inning of work. Morton also as effective as Christopher Sanchez, only 12 pitches in the first inning, and 10 of which for strikes. Both pitchers have been around the zone here tonight in the early going. So Castellanos will get things going. There are some former Phillies and Tiger connections with these two teams. Castellanos is one of them in the lineup tonight, as the first pitch is a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count is quickly 0-1. Matt Vierling, the other, he is in center field for the Tigers, as the right-handed hitting Castellanos waggles the bat, waiting from the pitch from Morton. He takes a fastball low and in, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Morton ready to go, rocking into the windup and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And Castellanos is aboard with a leadoff single, and that's going to bring up the center fielder in Brandon Marsh. Well, for Marsh, he's hitting .263 on the season. He's got 5 homers and 24 RBIs. He gets the nod in center field. The Phillies went out and added Harrison Bader at the trade deadline from the Minnesota Twins. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So I don't say that the outfield is crowded, but maybe that they have some insurance moving into the playoffs. I was kind of liked Harrison Bader. I was a little disappointed that he wasn't a fit in New York. I thought he would have been a good replacement for Brett Gardner. Began his career with the St. Louis Cardinals, but really hasn't been able to fit in. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's going to get all the way to the wall. Perez goes and picks it up. Rounding first and heading to second is going to be Marsh, and the Phillies have got something brewing here as they got runners at second and third and nobody out. And that is going to bring Max Kepler to the plate. Well, for Kepler, he's hitting .202 on the season. He's got 11 homers and 33 RBIs. Only the second trained German professional baseball player to play at the major league level, at least on the hitting side. And the infield is in. Tigers have everybody up on the grass, and the first pitch to Kepler is grounded foul over on the first base side. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Kepler had spent his entire career with the Minnesota Twins organization and signed himself a free agent deal with the Phillies in the offseason. Here's the pitch. It is a sinker that is swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Kepler. Way out in front of that pitch. Got a chance to see Kepler firsthand when he was playing for the Regensburg Legionnaire in the German Bundesliga as a 17-year-old. That is going back many moons ago now. As the pitch is on the way from Morton, there's a fastball swung on it. It is popped up down the left field line. Giving chase is Riley Green, but it is going to just slice into the seats. It's going to keep the count at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Kepler. After this series here, the Tigers will move on as they will head on to Minnesota to take on the Twins. And that will be tomorrow evening. Actually, they'll move on to play in Detroit. They're going back to play in Detroit against the Twins. The Phillies will stay right where they're at as that pitch is swung on and fouled away, and the count remains 0-2 to Kepler. The Baltimore Orioles will come to town as it will be Jesus Luzardo going to the hill for Philly against Cade Povich. Breaking ball misses down and in. A nice stop there by Dingler. Runs the count to 1-2 on Kepler. All the other games across the major leagues are finals, and we'll get you tuned up with that as we move along a bit today. Again, the right-hander ready to go as he holds at the belt. Morton now kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. Count goes to 2-2. Now I'm interested to see if they come back down and into Kepler. Change the eye level and the location of where that's at. I think the Yankees will be happy that they're getting out of Miami, but they got roughed up by the Marlins. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to second, fielded on the backhand by Torres. His only play will be to first, but that's going to get a run in. It's an RBI ground out off the bat of Kepler. So he grounds out 4-3. It's going to advance Marsh over to third. Castellanos comes in and scores the first run of the ball game. And the Phillies have taken an early 1-0 lead on the ground out by Kepler. And that is going to bring up the third baseman in Edmundo Sosa. Well, Sosa batting .266, 4 homers and 25 RBIs. Swings at the first pitch and fouls that one away, and the count is quickly 0-1. I have to tell you, tonight there's been a lot of backdoor movement on the fastball from Charlie Morton. He's got a lot of arm side run, comes in on the hitters. That would have been a perfect example right there. Tiger defense is still playing in. So right-hander Morton now steps off the backside. That is going to be one of the step-offs. He and the catcher, Dylan Dingler, couldn't get on the same page. Brandon Marsh is the runner at third base. Here comes the pitch. There's a fastball swung on under the hands. It's popped up over on the first base side, giving chase and playable for the catcher Dingler, as he will make the catch, and that is going to retire Sosa for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the second baseman, Bryson Stott. So Phillies have taken an early 1-0 lead here. RBI ground out by Max Kepler cashed in Castellanos. They have a 1-0 lead. 2 gone here in the last half of the second inning. So Stott coming to the plate, hitting .234 with 7 homers and 43 RBIs. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Stott batting in the 9 hole here. As we set a very deep lineup for the Philadelphia Phillies. There's a breaking ball that just misses down in it, and then the count now goes to 2-0. This is the 400th start of Charlie Morton's career, the first in a Detroit Tiger uniform, as he had been acquired at the deadline from the Orioles. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 2-1. And as I mentioned at the top of the stream, I like this trade for Detroit. They were having some injuries. They had some problems with their staff. Both him and Chris Paddock, they didn't have to break the bank to get them. As there's a fastball that is swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. It's going to reach the seats. Off the netting and back into the field of play. And the count now is 2 balls and 2 strikes to Stott. It would be what I would call a very economical trade for Detroit. The Tigers gave up a minor league left-hander, Micah Ashman. So really not much of a price to pay for the right-hander Charlie Morton. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2 to Stott. And that Ashman, we were looking at his numbers. He was out of the University of Utah, and he was playing in high A with the Tigers West Michigan Ball Club. He was a pretty good season, but a little bit longer in the tooth. He was what I would call a mid-range prospect for the Tigers. If that. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul, and the count remains at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Only Justin Verlander is older than Charlie Morton on active rosters. Rich Hill would have been holding that mantle, but he got DFA'd by the Royals. There's another fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains full. Rich Hill, of course, 45 years old. So Charlie Morton was a 2017 World Series champ, so he knows A.J. Hinch, the manager of the Tigers, quite well. So it's not like a mystery with those two. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into left center field. Moving back on it, and did he make the catch? Oh, my goodness. Riley Green with a great over-the-shoulder catch as he slides and collides with Matt Vierling. And that is going to do it here for the Phillies. That is a highlight reel catch for the 3rd out of the inning, and that will do it here for Philadelphia in their half of the second. Riley Green on his horse reached out and avoid massive collision with Vierling as they both slid. So there was 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. Make sure you get to Instagram tonight to check that one out. That is as good a play as you're going to see. It is the Philadelphia Phillies leading the Tigers 1-0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this timeout.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, I got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Thanks again to our friend Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check him out after the game, as he's got all kinds of weird and wacky things on his channel. It'll be Wencio Perez, Javi Baez, and the top of the order in Matt Vierling to come to bat here in inning number 3 against Christopher Sanchez. We talked about the economy of Sanchez on the mound. 19 pitches in the first 2 innings and 17 of which for strikes. That is pretty impressive. Charlie Martin's also been filling up the zone. He has 34 pitches for the Tigers, 25 of which have been for strikes. The Phillies have the important statistic. They've got the 1 run on the scoreboard right now and lead 1-0 as we move to the top half of inning number 3. So here comes the first offering to the switch-hitting Perez. It is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Perez hitting .264, 8 homers and 23 runs driven in. As the Tigers' right fielder waits on the offering from Sanchez, who kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball sliced into right field. It's going to hang up enough. And yes, it does, as Nick Castellanos is going to make the grab, and that's going to retire Perez for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away for the Tigers. That's going to bring up the shortstop and Javi Baez. I have to say that there is no mystery here with Sanchez. He is all around the zone tonight. So the lefty ready to go back to work, getting his signs from Merrill Muto as he rocks himself into the windup and delivers. First pitch fastball just misses outside. There's a rare occurrence, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes. Again, the lefty Sanchez getting his sign from Merrill Muto. Rocking into the windup and delivers. There's a breaking ball ticket for a called strike. The count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friend God is Great was talking about big typhoons coming as he lives in Japan. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-1 on Baez. I was in Japan last year, and there was a typhoon that hit more toward Osaka. I was in Tokyo, and we got the remnants a couple days later. And boy, when the rains came, did it ever come. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-2 on Baez. Literally raining sideways. As time has been called by the Tiger shortstop at the plate. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is to Baez. 1 gone here in the 3rd. Matt Vierling waiting his turn on deck. Sunday night baseball from Philadelphia as the lefty delivers. Breaking ball waved at and missed, and Baez has gone on strikes for the 2nd out of the inning. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Matt Vierling. And by our count tonight, that is the 4th strikeout recorded by Sanchez. He has been as advertised here tonight, having a very good season for the Phillies, and he has not disappointed Philadelphia fans in this one. So rocking into the windup is Sanchez. He kicks and delivers. The first pitch is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The count is 1-1 to Matt Vierling. Vierling got off to a tough start this year. He was hurt to begin with, missed a lot of time in spring training, didn't start the season with the ball club, and he's had his work to get back on track. As the lefty Sanchez delivers, there's a fastball just missing low, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty Sanchez ready to go back at it. He doesn't waste any time. Breaking ball misses down at it, and the count goes to 2-1. Probably if they got rid of a pitch clock, he wouldn't skip a beat. Just keeps right on trucking. Here comes the 2-1 offering to Vierling as he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on. This is popped up shallow right field. Moving back underneath it is the second baseman Stott, and he's going to make the catch And that is going to do it, as Vierling's going to be gone for the third out of the inning. And that will do it for the Tigers here in the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're now through 2.5 in Philadelphia. Your score is the Phillies won, the Tigers no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action right after this on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel, old school radio broadcast, when we return. We're heading to the bottom of the third inning. We'll be back after this musical timeout. It is a 1-0 Phillies lead as we move to the bottom half of inning number 3. Welcome back, everyone. We're going to take a look around Major League Baseball, and all the games have been finals today. The Red Sox knocked off the Astros 6-1, 6-8-0 for Boston, 1-3-1 for the Stros. Giolito got the win. He goes to 8-2. Framber Valdez took the loss. He's 11-5. Dodgers got the win today against the Rays, 3-0. Yoshinobu Yamamoto got his 10th win of the year. Mason Englert took the save, and Kasparias got the save in that one for the Dodgers. And the pitch from Charlie Morton delivered. It was a fastball swung on. It is lifted over down the first base side, and Spencer Torkelson gave chase. He slid just before he got to the wall, but he wasn't able to come up with that. That's going to be strike one to Trey Turner. Turner, Schwarber, and Harper, the top of the order here to face the Tiger right-hander in the third inning, as the right-hander rocks and delivers. There's a breaking ball waved out and missed. The count now goes to 0-2 on Turner. Other finals include the game of the suspended game from yesterday, the Braves and the Reds. Braves beat the Reds 4-2. That was at the Bristol Motor Speedway. There was a breaking ball ticket for a called third strike. Turner doesn't like the call, but the pitch was a good one by Charlie Morton. That's going to be his first strikeout of the night as he gets Turner looking. He is in the books for the first out. That is going to bring up the designated hitter in Kyle Schwarber. And it was a 4-2 Braves victory over the Reds in that one. Waldrop got the win. Sutter took the loss. First pitch, breaking ball, misses outside. The count is 1-0 to Schwarber. And Iglesias got the save. We'll give you more finals from around the league as this game progresses there, or here tonight. As the pitch from Morton on the way is a fastball that misses way upstairs. It's now 2-0 to Schwarber. That was kind of cool. Bristol Motor Speedway, to see that type of event, that would be kind of neat. There's the pitch. Breaking ball misses in. They appeal over to the third base umpire, and Mark Ripperger goes up with the right hand. He's going to run the count to 2-1 strike to Schwarber. That was a good call there by Ripperger. Easy call at that. And they're going to go again down to him. This time he says that Schwarber didn't swing. Now the count goes to 3-1. But that maybe Schwarber thinks it hit him. I don't know. So he thinks he's been hit by the pitch. Nick Marley is going to give him first base. They appealed. They said he didn't swing. I want to get a look at that on the replay. So if that's the case, if he would have swung and been hit by the pitch, they'd be hauling him back. We'll get a look at the replay on this one. pitch had come down. It looked like it hit in front of the foot, but may have clipped it on the way up. Regardless, Schwarber's got to get aboard on a hit by pitch. That's going to bring Bryce Harper to the plate. So Schwarber, the runner at first. With one gone, Harper stepping in, and the first pitch to Harper is a 95-mile-an-hour fastball that misses upstairs for ball. Count is 1-0. Harper doubled his first time up, but was left stranded in the first inning. Raised his season average up to 272 with that knock. As Morton fires over to first base and diving back in time is Schwarber. We mentioned at the top of the stream tonight, Schwarber's got 10 stolen bases this year. If he picks up the pace and has a good month of August and September, he might have an outside shot at 20. Breaking ball waved that and missed. The count is 1-1. Who would have thought that Kyle Schwarber could have been a 2020 man? So 1 ball and 1 strike to Harper as the right-hander working to the set now delivers. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Harper. Phillies' only run came in the second inning after a single by Castellanos and a double by Brandon Marsh. Max Kepler grounded out to bring home the first and only run of the ball game. The Phillies have a 1-0 lead. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count 1-2 to Harper. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander Morton working to the set. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on, grounded softly over to first. Fielded by Torkelson. They go to second for 1. Back to first. It's going to be in time. And that is going to be a double play. It's going to go in the books as a 3-6-1 double play to end the inning. Nice defensive play there by Torkelson to come off the bag. Good throw over to the shortstop Baez, who relayed it to the pitcher covering. And that is going to do it here as it's an unconventional 1-2-3 inning. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. Your score as we are now through 3 complete innings. A third of the game in the books. It is the Phillies 1, the Tigers no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this timeout.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
It's 1-0 Phillies. We're moving to the top of the 4th, and we'll be back in 30 seconds after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. Coming to bat for the Tigers in the top of the 4th inning will be Gleyber Torres, Jahmai Jones, and Spencer Torkelson. It has been an impressive pitching performance by Christopher Sanchez. 30 pitches in the first 3 innings, 24 of which have been for strikes. He has kept the Tigers off balance. It's been a pretty decent performance by Charlie Morton as well in his Tigers debut, but he has the one blemish to his name right now as he has given up the lone run in the ball game. And the first pitch on the way here from Sanchez is a breaking ball that is swung on. This ball is going to get hit through the 6-hole into left field, and Gleyber Torres on the first pitch he sees has got himself a base hit. That'll bring up the designated hitter in Jahmai Jones. The Tigers are going to look to find a way to do something here against Sanchez, as he has only allowed them to 1 hit and 1 base runner through the first 3 innings. So the leadoff hit here by Torres is a start. That brings Jones to the plate. 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Jones. We were talking earlier about Jones and the family connections to Detroit. His father being a former Detroit Lion, his brother also a Detroit Lion. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded through the 4-hole on the right side into right field. Rounding second is Torres, and he overran the bag. They came backdoor on him, but he's going to be safe or sliding back in there safely. Good piece of hitting there by Jones to go the other way as he hit it on the ground through the 4-hole. And he's got himself a single. That's going to put runners at first and second for the Tigers, and it's going to bring Spencer Torkelson to the plate. Well, Torkelson had the only hit for the Tigers going into this inning. He is 1 for 1. He was erased on a fielder's choice back in the second. With that knock in the previous inning, Torkelson's raised his average to 236 as the lefty delivers a breaking ball, misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Sanchez, tall, lanky left-hander, works himself to the belt again, ready to go as he checks the runner at second base. And here comes the pitch. The breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Torkelson. So 1 ball, 1 strike. I think if I was Torkelson, I might want that pitch back. That last breaking ball was right over the heart of the plate. As the lefty again delivers, there's another breaking ball. This one's hammered foul down the third base line, and the count now goes to 1-2. It's often said you might usually get 1 pitch in at bat that's going to be your pitch to hit. And if you miss it, you might not get another pitch. Well, I think that second breaking ball or the second pitch of the at bat here to Torkelson will be the one that he might lament. As the 1-2 pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So a steady diet of off speed to the Tiger first baseman. Tigers threatening here in the top of the 4th. They've got 2 on and nobody out. Torres the runner at second, Jones the runner at first. Torkelson even in the count at 2-2. As the lefty delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on and chop foul over on the third base side. Count remains at 2-2. The lone lefty in the Tiger lineup is Riley Green. He waits on deck. So one would think here if you get Torkelson and Green, it'll leave it all up to Ibanez, and that's the one who I would want hitting with 2 out without any runs coming across. Here's the offering now from the lefty Sanchez. Again, he checks the runner at second. Torres dancing all the way around. And there is a fastball taken at the knees for a called third strike. I'm not sure what Torkelson was looking for. That pitch was too close to take. He goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning. Always tell hitters you got to look middle away, certainly with 2 strikes. If you took one knee high on the inside corner, maybe you can look the other way, but certainly not that pitch. And Torkelson unable to pull the trigger on that one. He goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the left fielder in Riley Green. And the first pitch to Green is swung on. It is bounced right back to the pitcher Sanchez. He goes to second for 1, back to first, and that is going to be an inning-ending double play. That's going to be 1-6-3 to do it here for the Tigers in their half of the 4th inning. Well, they put the first 2 runners on with nobody out, and they squander an opportunity. A strikeout looking by Torkelson and a ground-out double play by Green is going to end the inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left to board. Moving to the bottom of the 4th inning, your score is the Phillies 1 and the Tigers no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this musical timeout.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have Lira. We have yen, we have francs, we have pounds, we have Deutschmarks, we have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat for the Phillies, the heart of the order, Realmuto, Castellanos, and Marsh. Things going here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Continue our tour of the out-of-town scoreboard. The Brewers continuing to play good baseball with Pat Murphy at the helm. They knocked off the Nationals today in Washington 14-3. As the first pitch is delivered here to Realmuto, taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Ashby got the win, and Lord took the loss in that one. Right-hander ready to go again as Morton delivers a fastball swung on and grounded foul on the third base side. The count quickly 0-2 to Realmuto. In 10 innings, the Royals knocked off the Blue Jays today 7-4. Hunter Harvey got the win. Sir Anthony Dominguez took the loss for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays and the Royals battling for playoff positioning. Blue Jays are currently first in the East. Royals are trailing the Tigers. And they're trying to make a late run here as the right-hander Morton kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and missed, and Realmuto's gone on 3 pitches. He's in the books for out number 1. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Nick Castellanos. Giants beat the Mets today in Queens. It was 12-4, 12-13-1 for the Giants, 4-8-1 for the Mets. Wisenhunt got the win. He's 1-0. Montez took the loss. He goes to 3-2. And the other one that we were looking at was the Twins beating the Guardians in a Central Division battle in the American League. As that fastball misses up and away to Castellanos. Twins knocked off the Guardians 5-4. Cody Funderburk got the win in relief. Cantillo took the loss, and Ramirez got his first save for the Twins. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a fastball swung on, and this is going to be lifted foul down the right field line. Count goes even to 1-1 on Castellanos. We'll go back and give you more finals a little bit later. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Castellanos. He has scored the only run of the ball game so far in this one. As Morton rocks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Morton again rocking into the windup and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. I have to say, I do like the way that Charlie Morton looks. He's going to fit in nicely in Detroit. There's a pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and Castellanos is down on strikes. And that, by our count, is the 3rd strikeout recorded by Morton. So 2 in the books, and that is going to bring up the center fielder in Brandon Marsh. Well, for Marsh, he is 1-for-1 tonight. He had a double in his only trip to the plate. As the pitch is on the way, it is a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul down the first baseline, and the count is 0-1 to Marsh. He was left stranded at third back in the second inning. Again, the right-hander Morton ready to go again, rocking slowly into the windup and delivers. And there is a changeup swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. A pitcher's duel thus far in this one, as both Christopher Sanchez and Charlie Morton have been dealing tonight. Sanchez only 40 pitches in his 4 innings of work. He's been absolutely brilliant. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count's 1-2 to Marsh. And on a normal night, Charlie Morton would probably be as good as you could ask. He's definitely been pretty good as well. He's up around the 70% mark in strikes. There's a fastball that swung on and missed, and Marsh is gone on strikes. And Morton has struck out the side here in the 4th inning. The Phillies go 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're now through 4 complete in Philadelphia. Your score is the Phillies 1 and the Tigers no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action. It is Tigers and Phillies on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Be right back after this from our good friend Matt Hollis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Thanks again to our friend Matt. We'll be back in 30 seconds with all the action right after this. It is Tigers and Phillies when we return. Welcome back, everyone. It is going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to come to bat for Detroit in inning number 5. That means Andy Ibanez, Dylan Dingler, and Wenceel Perez to face the left-hander Christopher Sanchez. Both of these teams here have had struggles against the starters over the last couple of days, but when the bullpens have come in, that's when the game's gotten exciting. And the first pitch fastball is swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Ibanez. And I would anticipate that this game here, once we get past the 6th inning, the entertainment will start to take place. Sanchez working himself into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball that just misses in, and the count goes even at 1-1 to Ibanez. The 42 pitches tonight thrown by Sanchez, 32 have been for strikes. That's pretty impressive. As the lefty rocks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul just behind home plate on the first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ibanez. We were saying earlier we were giving the final scores, and we'll continue our tour around Major League Baseball with more finals that were in the books. As the lefty Sanchez kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball missing down. It's now 2-2 to Ibanez. It's another thing. There has not once tonight has Sanchez gone to a full count. He's been to 2-2 on 3 different hitters, including this one here. And that's been it. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. As Sanchez delivers, there's a breaking ball, misses down, and just as we say it, there's the full count. Yankees are probably happy to get out of Florida. They lost to the Marlins today, 7-3. Cabrera got the win. He goes to 5-5. Heel took the loss. He's 0-1. Yankees definitely were maybe in party mode or something down there, but they weren't playing good ball. There's a ball that is tapped slowly up the first baseline. Sanchez off the mound to field it. He glove flips it to first base. And that is going to retire Ibanez. Nice play there by the pitcher. Ground out 1-3 for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the catcher and Dylan Dingler. I wanted to tell the story about Dingler in his first at bat. I was saying that the scouts were a little concerned. They weren't sure that he was going to get to the big leagues. He started his minor league career off pretty good. Then he got hurt, missed some time. And one of these scouts were saying that somebody has to catch in the Detroit organization. And they were kind of slagging Dingler, didn't really like him. And basically, with Jake Rogers being the guy, they weren't thinking that Dingler was going to even get a chance to play a whole lot. He first pitched to Dingler as a breaking ball, take it for a called strike. But he's enjoying a pretty good year. Dingler is currently hitting at 274. He's got 9 homers and 42 runs driven in. So giving the Tigers a little bit more than maybe what that scout had anticipated. As the breaking ball misses down, it counts 1-1. Tigers had taken him from the Ohio State University in the second round of the draft a few years ago. As the pitch is on the way, there is a breaking ball swung on it. It is grounded foul just past the bag at third base. And the count goes to 1-2 on Dingler. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Definitely the Tigers are pleased with their evaluation. He was in the former regime, being the Alex Avila era. There's a ground ball chopped softly into the 6th hole, fielded on the backhand by Turner. He throws across the diamond, and that's going to retire Dingler on a ground out, 6-3 for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone. That'll leave it up to the right fielder in Wenceel Perez. Well, for Perez, he's coming to bat. He's 0-for-1 today. He flew out to right field his first time up. As the lefty rocks himself into the windup and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1 to Perez. Perez went the other way with that line drive to Castellanos for the first out of the third inning. Put a pretty big charge into the pitch. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses up in the way, and the count is 1-1. Just continuing on with the out-of-town scores, the Cubs knocked off the Orioles today, 5-3. Palencia got the win. Aiken took the loss. That's 1 day removed from picking up a save. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball swung on, is grounded over to short, fielded by Turner. He fires across the infield, and Perez is gone. So a busy inning there by Trey Turner, the shortstop, as he's involved in 2 of the 3 outs. And that is going to do it here for the Tigers in their half of inning number 5. They go in order and they go quietly. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 5th. We are halfway through this one. Your score is the Phillies 1, the Tigers no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action right after this timeout. back, everyone. It is going to be the bottom of the fifth inning. It'll be Max Kepler, Edmundo Sosa, and Bryson Stott to come to bat to face the right-hander Charlie Morton. Morton, through his 4 innings of work tonight, has thrown 58 pitches, 42 of which have been for strikes. And if it wasn't for Sanchez being pretty unbelievable with his strike percentages, Charlie Morton is right there with him as well. So it is 2 pitchers that are absolutely dealing here tonight. And the scoreline shows it 1-0 for the Phillies. It'll be Kepler, Sosa, and Stott, as we said, coming to bat. The first pitch here to Max Kepler is a breaking ball that's waved on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1. Kepler grounded out to second his first time up, and he drove in the only Phillies run. As the pitch is on the way, there's a changeup swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2 on Kepler. With that RBI in the second inning, it gave Kepler 34 on the year now. As he takes an offensive timeout, as he steps out of the box, here comes the offering from Morton. As he rocks into the windup and delivers, there's a fastball at 95 that misses way outside, and the count is 1-2. Morton's pretty much sat at 95 on his fastball when he's delivered it. I believe he's touched 96, maybe even 97 tonight, as the pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Kepler. One would have to think that Charlie Morton should be able to get through 6 innings with this pace. I wonder if he'd even sniff the 7th. There's a breaking ball waved on and missed. Kepler's down on strikes, so that's the 4th strikeout in a row recorded by Charlie Morton. Gives him 5 in the ball game now, and that's going to bring up the third baseman in Edmundo Sosa. Well, for Sosa, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He popped to the catcher his first time up. Morton is certainly a lot better his second time through the order in this one. Very impressive. First pitch breaking ball misses down and away. The count is 1-0. Sometimes they say the first time through the order is your best time through the order. But he has been electric here so far. Here comes the pitch. There's a fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes even to 1-1 on Sosa. Morton getting his side from Dingler. Shakes him off, and now he rocks into the motion and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. Has popped up behind home plate, giving chase is Dingler, but he's going to watch it drift into the seats. Count is 1-2 strikes. I saw a game a number of years ago at the old vet. It was Kurt Schilling was on the mound for the Phillies, and they were playing the Houston Astros. I don't remember who threw for Houston that night. All I remember is Jeff Bagwell hit a ball on a frozen rope over the left center field wall and sat at the old vet. We were in the upper deck on the first base side. There was a fastball swung on and fouled away. The stadium in Philly, a little different vibe than that particular one. That would have been a few years after the World Series run. It would have been about 1997. So Morton steps off the mound and goes to the rosin bag. He's ready to go back at it here with Sosa. 1-2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on and hammered foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2. So I think that pitch caught a little too much of the plate for Morton's liking. So 1-2 strikes it remains. Morton gets the new baseball. He's ready to go again. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that messes up. Actually, that's going to run the count to 3-2. I think they charged Morton with one of those pitcher violations. So that has been added to the count. Here's the 3-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball that is swung on. It is lifted down the left field line. It's slicing toward the seats. and it's going to reach them as it goes about 6 rows deep. And the count remains at full 3-2 to Sosa. Sometimes it's hard to keep track with the pitcher violations and the batter violations. Tigers have had 2 tonight. Gleyber Torres was charged with a batter violation. Charlie Martin, a pitcher violation. As the pitch is a fastball swung on as lifted foul down the right field line. Count remains full to Sosa. This is turning into quite the battle with the 8-hole hitter. And if our count is right, this is going to be the 11th pitch of the at-bat. Sosa, as the pitch is on the way. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Yet another strikeout recorded by Morton. That's 5 strikeouts in a row, his 6th so far. So pretty impressive here in the middle frames. That pitch was a rising fastball, like a 2-seamer out of the hands of Morton. And he fooled Sosa all the way. So he has gone on strikes for the 2nd out of the inning, and that's going to leave it up to the second baseman and Bryson Stott. The first pitch is a fastball swung on. It is popped up over on the first base side, giving chase is Dingler. He's by the dugout, but he's going to watch it bounce off the dugout and into the seats. And the count is 0-1 to Stott. So pretty impressive middle frame performance here so far by Charlie Morton, as he has struck out each of the batters he's faced in inning number 4 and 5 so far. And the right-hander rocks into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. It's almost like playing wiffle ball right now. He has got the full control. Nobody else knows what to do. So no balls and 2 strikes as Stott takes the offensive timeout. Charlie Martin goes to the back side of the mound to reset himself. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. Kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into left field right to the glove of Riley Green. And that is going to do it, as Stott is going to be retired for the 3rd out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Phillies. They go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your scores, we move now to the top of the 6th inning. It is the Philadelphia Phillies 1 and the Detroit Tigers no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action right after this musical timeout. Stay with us.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never.
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to come to bat for the Tigers in their half of the 6th inning. We're carrying on with our out-of-town look at the scoreboard. Pirates salvaged a win against the Rockies today. They won 9-5. They took the first 2 games of the series on the chin. 9-9-2 for the Pirates, 5-9-0 for the Rocks. Keller got the win. Blaylock took the loss for the Rockies. Diamondbacks knocked off the Athletics 6-4 today. 6-12-0 for the D-backs, 4-8-0 for the Athletics. Rodriguez got the win. As the first pitch breaking ball is delivered to Baez for a called strike. Count is 0-1. It was Perkins taking the loss and Nelson getting the save. We'll finish the other ball games in the next half inning. As Sanchez ready to deliver again. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. Moving over underneath it is the center fielder Marsh, and he's going to be there to make the catch. And Baez is going to be retired for the first stud of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. I'll bring up the top of the order in Matt Vierling. That is now 6 in a row retired by Christopher Sanchez. He's making it look easy out there. As that will bring up Vierling to the plate. Vierling 0 for 2 today. He has struck out and popped a second in his 2 trips. As the lefty delivers, there's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. I am a little bit interested in Sanchez's season this year, specifically what the highest number of pitches that he's thrown has been. There's a fastball swung on it, is taken on 1 hop by the third baseman Sosa. He fires over to first, and that is going to retire Vierling. It's a ground out 5-3. He's gone for the second out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the second baseman in Gleyber Torres. When I look at the numbers, I have to go back to April. And actually in early June and even in July, he has gone over the 100 mark 3 times this year as Sanchez. And in fact, on July 22nd, he threw 106 pitches against the Boston Red Sox. There's a fastball that is swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. Moving back and continuing back on the warning track is Castellanos, but he's going to be there to haul it in. And Gleyber Torres is going to be retired, so you can't ask for a quicker inning than that. And by my count, that's a 5-pitch inning here for Sanchez. He's hardly broken a sweat. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now moving to the bottom of the 6th. That is still a 1-0 lead for the Phillies. Runs are at a premium in this one, and we'll be back in just a few. Carry on the call on this once we return. Hold tight, everybody. I need a drink. I need a reset, and we'll be back in just a bit. Bottom of the 6th is just around the corner. 1-0 for the Phillies when we return.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 6th inning. It'll be Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, and Bryce Harper to face Charlie Morton here. As Morton has been pretty solid so far in this one. He has 6 strikeouts to his name. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run allowed, no walks, 6 Ks. He has been everything the Tigers have hoped for. As the first pitch is coming on its way here to Trey Turner. It's a fastball that just misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. That pitch looked pretty good to me. So 1 ball and no strikes. Morton ready to go again. He kicks and he fires. There's a breaking ball swung on, chopped slowly over to third. Fielded on the run by the third baseman, Ibanez, and he fires to first. That's going to retire Turner on a ground out 5-3. So 1 up and 1 away here in the 6th inning, and that'll bring up the designated hitter in Kyle Schwarber. Our friend Gracie Lynn in the house. She says she's late, but she's here, but it's glad to have her with us. Everybody came in early and was a little bit chattery, and then everybody sort of just, maybe they fell asleep after a good meal. We've been part of the sleep process. This game here, it's 1-0 for the Phillies. Breaking ball misses down and in, and the count is 1-0 to Schwarber. Schwarber 0 for 1 today, grounded to second his first time up, was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. As the pitch is a breaking ball that just misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. We are going to be back on the airwaves for the next 3 nights. It'll be Japanese baseball, 10 o'clock Pacific or 1 a.m. Eastern, weather dependent. Although it is a dome stadium, so I would think the games should go off. There's a fastball that misses upstairs to Schwarber, and the count's now 3-0. Morton delivers the 3-0 pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball's going to get hammered into right field. It's into the corner. Perez goes in after it. Rounding first and heading to second is Schwarber, and he's going to cruise in with a stand-up double. So he's got himself a 1-out double, and that's going to bring Bryce Harper to the plate. With 1 gone here in the 6th. 3-0 pitch, green light for Schwarber, and he absolutely tattooed it. Right up, high fastball, right up around the letters. His eyes must have been as big as saucers for that one. And Bryce Harper is going to get the free pass here, so that'll set up a potential for a double play as it's going to bring JT Realmuto to the plate. Realmuto tonight has had his struggles with Morton. Grounded to first, and he has struck out in his 2 trips. Friend Gracie Lynn says, how about those Marlins? Yeah, absolutely. The Marlins are unbelievable. Marlins are the only team in baseball to have a winning record against the Yankees, 25-24 all time. And they swept the Yankees for the first time this weekend. That's all stats I didn't know, but we appreciate Gracie Lynn for looking that up for us. That is pretty cool. We were talking about it earlier that the Yankees were probably, well, I'm not sure if they were happy to get out of town. Maybe they were staying a little bit late night in the clubs. You never know when you're down there in Miami. As the first pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball that misses down and away to Realmuto, and the count is 1-0. Phillies looking to add to their lead here with runners at first and second and 1 gone. Schwarber, the runner, at second. Harper at first. And the pitch on the way from Morton is a fastball swung on. It's grounded to third. Ibanez goes to second for 1. They're going to have to hurry at first, and it's not going to be in time. Interesting, Schwarber was running, and Ibanez had to throw almost around him. In some ways, you would have thought it might have been better off that he just tagged him. But Harper easy out at second base on the trail side. Realmuto, for a catcher, still runs fairly well, and he is going to be safe. So out is Harper on the fielder's choice, 5-4 for the second out of the inning. Schwarber advances to third, safe at first Realmuto, and it's going to bring Nick Castellanos to the plate. And for Castellanos, he's 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single, he struck out, and he scored the only run so far in this game. As the first pitch fastball is swung on, and this ball is lifted down the right field line. It's slicing near the seats. Perez is there. He leaps and he makes the catch in foul territory up against the wall. And that is going to do it as Castellanos is retired for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Phillies in the 6th. They had no runs in the inning. They had a hit. There were no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we now move to the back third of the ball game, it is 1-0 for the Phillies when we return. Hang tight, everybody. It is the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this timeout. We got a score line of 1-0. We are moving to the top of the 7th. The Phillies are in command right now. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 7th inning. It'll be Jahmai Jones, Spencer Torkelson, and Riley Green scheduled to come to bat to face the left-hander Christopher Sanchez, who has been absolutely electric here tonight. 58 pitches in 6 innings for the lefty, and he has thrown 43 of those for strikes. So he has been pretty solid in this one. Charlie Morton, not to be outdone, 84 pitches, 59 for strikes for him, and he has given up the 1 run, which has given the Tigers a deficit. Gracie Lynn said the Marlins had a 3-game weekend series of over 100,000 fans. There's a first pitch fastball swung on, is grounded up the middle. Diving to his left is Turner. He gets up, he throws it. It's not going to be in time. The speedy Jones is able to leg it out. That's going to be his second hit of the ball game. So 2 hits now for the Tiger designated hitter tonight. And you got to think that A.J. Hinch has got to be looking like a genius. I looked at the lineup earlier tonight and I said, Jahmai Jones batting third. Are you kidding me? Well, that's hit number 2 tonight. He's got 2 of the 4 Tiger hits. Well, Sanchez ready to go back to work. Here's the first pitch to Torkelson. It's a fastball swung on. It's going to be lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And stopping at second is going to be Jones. That is going to put Torkelson aboard over at first. Runners at first and second. With nobody gone, and it's going to bring up the left fielder in Riley Green. So the Tigers have something brewing here in the top of the 7th inning. Sanchez has hardly broken a sweat here today. We said he's been over 100 pitches 3 times this season, twice in the month of July. So here comes the first offering to Green as he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that just misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Gracie Lynch says the way she's bragging, you think she's a big Marlins fan, but it's just good for baseball. Well, there's 2 things that are also good for baseball is people hating the Yankees and people loving the Yankees as that breaking ball is swung on and missed. You look at a team like the Yankees, they come in and can draw you 100,000 fans. It's kind of like the Blue Jays. And for that matter, the Orioles. How much are the Blue Jays and the Orioles upset that the Red Sox and the Yankees are in their division? They're not. There's a fastball swung on, is chopped softly up the middle. It is fielded by Turner on the second base side of the bag. He's going to throw to first. That's his only play. Advancing to third is Jones. Over to second is Torkelson. So a ground out 6-3 off the bat of Green for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the third baseman in Andy Ibanez. Nice play there by Turner. His only play was to first. So that brings up Ibanez to the plate, who is 0 for 2. He's bounced into a fielder's choice and grounded the pitcher. And the first pitch breaking ball misses outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Gracie Lynn says it kind of reminds her of the 2023 Diamondbacks or 2024 Tigers, the way they're playing. There's a breaking ball swung on, hammered to third. They're going to go home with it, and the play is to the plate, and they're going to get Jones at the dish. What a play by Sosa. Unbelievable. He took the ball on the hop and fired it. Had to throw a dart to Realmuto, who applied the tag. Torkelson is going to be safe over at third. Nice throw. We got the replay of that one. Safe at first on the fielder's choice is Ibanez. So Jones going to be put out 5-2 for the second out of the inning. It's going to put runners at the corners, and it's going to bring Dylan Dingler to the plate. Nice play there by the third baseman. He threw it, and he had to throw almost through the runner. The ball was on the foul territory side where Realmuto got it and was able to apply the tag on the runner Jones. So the Tigers running on contact. And here comes the first pitch to Dingler. Breaking ball misses down for ball one. Count is 1-0. Dingler 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded to second and grounded to short. Torkelson, the runner at third. Ibanez, the runner at first. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-0. Gracie Lynn said another fun fact about the Marlins: they've played in 110 games and submitted 110 different lineups. I got a fun story or a fun fact for you. I was listening to the Mariners and the Rangers earlier today. As that breaking ball misses outside, it's now 3-0 to Dingler. Wenzel Perez is waiting his turn on deck. I don't know how many immaculate innings there have been in Major League history. I'd have to go back and look that up. Immaculate inning is where the pitcher strikes out the side on 9 pitches. As the pitch is on the way, and there is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 3-1 on Dingler. But the interesting fact was they were talking about the Texas Rangers a few years ago were victims of an immaculate inning twice in the same game. And to add more to the fun fact to that, it was the same 3 hitters who went down on strikes. As there's a fastball that misses down and in, and Dingler's going to get himself a walk, and that's going to bring up the switch-hitting Wenzel Perez to the plate. So the bases are full of Tigers here with 2 gone. Perez striding to the dish, who's 0 for 2 tonight. I thought that was pretty cool. Same 3 hitters struck out, same 2 times for an immaculate inning. That was not all that long ago. There's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. And I think you're right. I think it was just a couple of seasons ago. So 1 ball and no strikes to Perez. Batting here against the lefty Sanchez. And the pitch from Sanchez on the way. It's a breaking ball swung on, and Perez grounds it foul over on the third base side. So all I'm going to say, it's now or never probably for the Tigers here. They can't get to Sanchez. You might as well wave the white flag because they got the bases loaded, 2 gone. Here in the top of the 7th, it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Perez. 2 gone here. Sanchez holds. Bouncing around at second is Ibanez, and there's a fastball swung on. Is grounded over to short. Fielded by the shortstop Turner, who throws to second. And they're going to erase Dingler on a fielder's choice. He's gone 6-4 for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for Detroit in the half of inning number 7. Well, Tigers threaten, but they don't score. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and there was 2 left aboard. Your score here as we now move to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is 1-0 for the Phillies. Stay with us, everybody. We appreciate you for being with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this musical timeout.
Hello, everybody. And you know why we're here? Well, of course you do. You'd be nuts not to be here to watch Freddie call another game. Freddie, the king of kings on baseball commentary. You know what? Come to think of it, with Freddie, there's absolutely nothing hotter than listening to him broadcast. Not even the Reaper Triple X puckered butt squeezing hot sauce. We'll just give it a whirl here. All right, Freddie. Cheers. Mm-hmm. Holy cow, that may be a close second to you, Freddie. Still the hottest broadcast right now on YouTube. Peace out. Call a great game.
Appreciate you there. Our friend Steve Rademacher eating his hot sauce all the time. And it is the Tigers and the Phillies that we are calling here tonight. 1-0, the Phillies have the lead as they go to the last half of the seventh. Brandon Marsh, Max Kepler, and Eduardo Sosa coming to bat. Charlie Morton with the start for the Tigers, but it is going to be Tyler Holton who is coming on in relief, as he is going to be the second pitcher used tonight by Detroit. So Holton coming on in relief. The lefty to face Marsh, Kepler, and Sosa. Just a few notes on Tyler Holton. The 29-year-old is making his 48th appearance of the year. He has worked 53 and 2/3 innings, allowed 48 hits. He has walked 10 and struck out 46. And he's pitched to an ERA of 3.69. I'd have to say this, and this is my opinion. My opinion is that I think that for some reason, I think Holton's kind of been overused here. The last couple of years, he has appeared in 59 and 66 games, respectively. I just don't know how much you can do year in and year out like this. His numbers are, the last 2 years were pretty decent. This year here, they have slid a little bit. The former Arizona Diamondback, who that's where he began his career, found a home in Detroit. So we'll see how this all plays out for him. Our friend Gracie Lynn asked if we were going to be doing any games this week in the MLB with the Astros, and the answer to that is no. We're going to be doing some NPB stuff tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday, North American time. Those will be the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday games in Japan. And for those of you who are wondering, it'll be the Fighters and the Lions. That'll be in Hokkaido. That game will go off at 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 a.m. Eastern if you're up. That's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all same starts. Those are the times. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Japan time. As the pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Brandon Marsh. Marsh is 1 for 2 today. He's got a double and 2 trips. He's also struck out. He's raised his season average to 264 as the lefty Holton delivers. There's a fastball swung on, and this ball's lined right to the glove of the second baseman Torres. Marsh is going to feel a little hard done by. He hit that ball right on the screws, but right to the glove of the all-star second baseman of the Tigers, and Marsh has gone for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the left fielder and Max Kepler. Well, it looks like it is going to be a substitute here, so the newly acquired Harrison Bader is coming in to bat for Kepler. And the first pitch to Bader is a fastball that catches the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Bader batting from the right side here against the left-hander Holton. Takes a breaking ball in the dirt, and the count goes even to 1-1. Bader has a season average of 254. He was playing his time with the Minnesota Twins. There's a breaking ball swung on it, is tapped softly over to the third base side, fielded, and they are going to gun him down. It's going to be a ground out. And I don't know if we're going to lose the feed here or not. Hopefully we don't. It's a ground out 5-3 for the second out of the inning. Looks like we're having some computer problems here. That's not good. Sorry about that, everybody. We lost our feed for just a few minutes. We had a bit of a crash. And so that is going to end the inning here. Bader had grounded out to third, and then Edmundo Sosa had lined out to the left fielder, Riley Green, to end the inning. So 3 up and 3 down. Tyler Holton does his job, and that is going to hold the Phillies. So we had to do a little bit of a restart here. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the top of the 8th. The Tigers are trailing the Phillies 1-0. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after we get ourselves all sorted out again right after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat for the Tigers in the 8th inning. Javi Baez, Matt Vierling, and Gleyber Torres. Our friend Gracie Lynn says that apparently the MPB is going to be doing a game per day for U.S. and most global subscribers on Fanatiz, but they will air the games at 9 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, so those will be delayed. That's kind of cool that they're doing it that way. A lot of fighters games, so they must have struck a deal with that individual team. Could possibly be the case. And you look at the games, it's pretty much easy to deal with a lot of the teams in the Pacific League. It is the Central League that is a bit of a pain. And the pain would be the Tigers, the Giants, and the Swallows. Those 3 teams, a little bit harder to deal with. Even their games to find them online are very, very difficult. And the one thing that the NPB could do is to be able to streamline their product and get it to the global marketplace a little bit better. I don't know if they see themselves as a global entity as much as maybe the rest of the world might. But the NPB certainly has a product that would be welcomed in other parts of Asia, as well as parts of North America and Europe as well. Well, that is going to be Baez, Vierling, and Torres to come to bat. And the first pitch from Sanchez is a breaking ball that's waved out at best. The count is 0-1. Sanchez still in the ball game here, as he had thrown 73 pitches through his 7 innings of work. And the pitch on the way is a fastball waved out and missed, and now the count goes to 0-2, so no balls and 2 strikes. Gracie Lynn said it was exclusively fighters games, so that, as we said, might be the case. Fighters are worth watching. I remember a couple of years ago, they were really painful to watch. I got to tip my hat to their manager, Shinjo, the former New York Met, who's got him playing really good baseball. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count goes to 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes. Again, the left-hander rocks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is taken on one hop on the backhand by Turner. He fires to first, and that is going to retire Baez on a ground out 6-3. He's gone for the first out of the inning. It'll bring up the top of the order and Matt Vierling. Tigers are starting to run out of outs here in this one here. It's been a fantastically pitched ball game by both the Tigers and the Phillies tonight. But Christopher Sanchez has been that much better. 1-0, the Phillies have the lead. Here's the pitch. First pitch, breaking ball, misses down to Vierling. Count is 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes. Gracie Lynn says they also have soccer and basketball leagues and field hockey. Now the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that's swung on and fouled away, and the count goes even to 1-1. I have to find it interesting, certainly in the marketplace that I'm in, that there are certain sports that are played in this marketplace that we don't see in other parts of the country. Field hockey is one of them. And there is a large field hockey following, or at least population here. But I've often said, if you're not watching on TV, if you're not seeing how the game is played, it's hard to be able to play. And so the same goes for baseball. If you're in a marketplace where you're not watching the game and it's not in your blood, it makes it really, really difficult, even though the kids want to play it. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed by Vierling, and the count goes to 1-2. And so if you're not, it's not in your blood, it's not in the system, it makes it really, really difficult. You just can't go out and do something if you're not a student of the game. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball waved at and missed, and Vierling's gone on strikes. He's done for the second out of the inning. Another strikeout recorded by Sanchez. That's going to be number 6 by him tonight. That's going to leave it all up to the second baseman, Gleyber Torres. Gracie Lynn says they also have the Venezuelan League as well, Summer Baseball League. Be interesting to see who plays in that one. There's the first pitch, breaking ball delivered to Torres that misses inside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. You got to wonder if they'll turn the ball over to Johan Duran for the 9th inning. Of course, the Tigers will be familiar with Duran because he played with the Minnesota Twins. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball that just misses outside. The count now goes to 2-0. They've asked for help over to the first base umpire, as they thought that Gleyber Torres may have gone around. No, I don't think he did. Great call there. 2 balls and no strikes to Torres. Again, Sanchez getting the sign from El Muto, ready to go back to work. As the pitch is a fastball swung on, it's grounded up the middle. A diving stop by Stott. He gets up and throws a one-hop to first base. Oh, my goodness. What a great play by Bryson Stott. And that is going to end the inning. It's a ground out, 4-3. Torres is done for the 3rd out. And that is going to do it here for the Tigers in their half of inning number 8. They go in order, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 8th inning, it is still 1-0 for the Phillies. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few to bring this one home for you right after this timeout. What a play that was. Fantastic baseball and fantastic defense by the Phils.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
That's right, everybody. Got to have an ace in the hole. It is going to be the 9-1 and 2 hitters to come to bat for the Phillies in their half of the 8th inning. Stott, Turner, and Schwarber to come to the sticks. We're waiting to see if the Tigers are going to go to their bullpen to replace Tyler Holton, as Holton had come on to replace Charlie Morton. We are just waiting for the update on this one here. Well, it has been a pretty good ball game tonight. If you like a pitcher's duel, Charlie Morton went one stretch where he struck out 5 Phillies in a row. He had 6 strikeouts on the evening, making his Tigers debut. Some beautiful defensive plays by Philadelphia tonight to keep this scoreline intact. And the first pitch delivered here to Bryson Stott, and he is going to be out for out number 1. It is Tyler Holton who is still in the ball game as he pops out softly to the second baseman, Gleyber Torres. A little late getting back into that one there. So with one pitch, there is a 1 away. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Trey Turner. So the pitch coming to Turner is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is quickly 1-0 to him. It'll be Schwarber and Harper coming up, and That's why Holton is in the ball game still. As the pitch is on the way, there's another breaking ball that just misses outside. It's now 2-0 to Turner. So 2 balls and no strikes. It is Johan Duran who is up in the bullpen. There's a fastball that is swung on and is lifted foul down the right field line, and the count goes to 2-1. Our friend Gracie Lynn said she would try something she never thought she'd try in her life: chocolate-covered crickets. Baked in chocolate. Well, if you go to the Seattle Mariners games in Edgar Martinez's cantina, you can get crickets. As there is a breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes to Turner. And I have to say, you are a much more braver person than me. I think I tried one, and they're very crunchy, and I don't think I really care to do it again. As there's a fastball that swung on, and it is lifted foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 2-2. Gracie Lynn said it wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but not as bad as it sounds. Yeah, I just can't see myself indulging on anything more than that. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and Turner's in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. And that's going to leave it all up to Kyle Schwarber. That would actually be kind of interesting. That should be a video for done. I don't know if anybody's done it at the Mariner games. Crickets, eating crickets at the Mariner games. So maybe the fans turn into crickets when the Mariners don't make the playoffs again. There's a first pitch breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Schwarber. Schwarber 1 for 2 tonight. He's doubled. He's been hit by a pitch and he's grounded out. The hit by pitch was as tame as you could get. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. Let's see if Holton can take a little something off of this pitch to even get Schwarber out in front even more. Here comes the 0-2 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on it. It is lifted into straightaway center field. Moving back on it is Vierling. He's looking up, and this one is going to be gone just to the left of the batter's eye. Schwarber hit that a country mile as he has deposited that into the seats, and that is going to give the Phillies a 2-0 lead. A little bit of insurance here in the 8th inning, and might be the piece that will break the Tigers' backs in this one. That was an 0-2 pitch that he absolutely turned on. I think that Holton's going to want to have that one back again. I don't know what you're doing, throwing some high heat up there to Schwarber. If you're going to miss, you're going to miss upstairs where you can't come close to it. His eyes must have lit up like candles with 2 strikes. There's a first pitch swung on to Harper, and it's fouled off his foot for strike 1, and the count is 0-1. Gracie Lynn said she was at a local bar today watching a soccer match, and the bar owner, who has become friends with her, talked her into trying a cricket. As the pitch is on the way, and there is a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into right field. Coming hard is Perez. He dives, he makes the catch, and that is going to do it. As he's going to take away a hit from Harper, that is going to do it here in the 8th inning. But the Phillies add a run to the board, and a big insurance marker for that one. Nice catch there by Perez. 1 run in the inning on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. The home run by Schwarber has now made it 2-0 for Philadelphia. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action after this. It is a pitching change, as it is going to be Johan Duran coming in here to try to close this one out for the Phillies in this one. We'll be right back after this. We'll be back after this musical timeout. It is Johan Duran coming on in to try to seal the deal here for the Phillies in this one. Welcome back, everybody. The top of the ninth inning is upon us, and it is going to be coming to bat for the Tigers. We're slated to come to bat Jahmai Jones, Spencer Torkelson, and Riley Green. My speculation is that Jahmai Jones will be pinch hit for most likely by Colt Keith. That would be my guess, but we'll have to wait and see till the official announcement is made. Jones with 2 hits in today's ball game. So Johan Duran trying to come in to close it out for the Phillies here. He has appeared in 50 games this year, and he's got himself a 1.97 ERA. And the first pitch on the way is a fastball at 101 miles an hour that misses outside. And I might be wrong on this one. It's actually Kerry Carpenter who has come in to pinch hit for Jones. Carpenter hitting .264 on the year. And the pitch is a fastball that misses inside. And the count now goes to 2 balls and no strikes to Carpenter. Carpenter, 18 homers and 63 RBIs. He's had some injuries this year, has Carpenter. He has spent some time on the disabled list. He's had some hamstring challenges. There was a fastball at 101 that swung on and lifted into the seats down the left field line, and the count now goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Gracie Lynn says she apologizes for coming in and talking everything about this game. Just enjoy coming in to hang in there. Tigers' offense had fallen off a bit, and then they had a little run there where they beat the Blue Jays on the final game of their series and then went on to sweep. I forget who the Tigers did sweep. As the time has been called, it looks like that Duran can't get anything out of his device. This is where they got to throw this stuff in the garbage and go back to the old school stuff. I don't know why they do these headpieces. Stomp about. They're not working. Throw them in the garbage. Let's keep going. This is a unnecessary timeout. And almost to the point where they should charge the team with a trip to the mound. Even though that they've got this other one, maybe the battery's not there. Go back to the old school stuff. Don't worry about the sign stealing. Sign stealing's been going on for years. Just got to figure out how to work yourself around it. But I don't like this technology that they're trying to bring into the game. I took a look at Nick Marley, the home plate umpire, and he looks like he's a robot. He's got this camera attached to his mask or attached to the top of his head. And I guess they're going to have to pay a lot of money to be able to do that. There's a fastball that swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2. Marley's a good man, former Air Force pilot. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. But I don't know if I could deal with some of the nonsense that goes on in professional ball. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded softly over to second. Fielded by Stott. He throws to first, and Carpenter is gone on a ground out, 4-3. He's out for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the first baseman in Spencer Torkelson. Talk a little bit about the Tiger offense, and I was saying about how it had fallen off a little bit. Well, the Tigers, as mentioned, they had won that last game against the Toronto Blue Jays, and they went on to sweep the Diamondbacks. Fastball swung on, grounded right to third. Sosa fields it across the diamond. He throws, and it's in time, but it has taken Harper off the bag. He had the leap to make the catch, and Torkelson is going to be safe. I would think that's going to be an error charged to the third baseman, Sosa. And the Tigers have life here as it brings Riley Green to the plate. Had all kinds of time to set his feet and to make the throw. I wonder if they're going to go up and have a look at this. Harper was able to get up in the air. He came down with it. We're going to look at the replay ourselves. Oh, boy, I think this is going to get turned over. If the Phillies are challenging, and I think they will, that's going to take the error off the board. A great athletic play by Harper to get up, and he came down right on the bag just ahead of Torkelson for the out. And if they are appealing, which I think they are, this isn't going to take long. We'll change our scorecard and put it down as a ground out 5-3 for the second out of the inning. And we're just waiting for that to take place, and then Riley Green will be coming to the plate. Gracie Lynn said technology is supposed to speed up the game. It does it when it works. So here comes the call from the umpires. And up goes the right hand as we suggested, and that is going to retire Torkelson. So that is 2 in the books here in the 9th inning, and it's going to leave it up to the left fielder, Riley Green. What a play there by Bryce Harper to crawl up the ladder and bring it down. He just beat Torkelson by a bit. So here's the first pitch to Green, and it is a fastball at 102, swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1 to Green. After this game's over, we'll give you a full rundown of this one, and then we will give you the windup as well from all around Major League Baseball. Here's the pitch. Fastball at 102 that just misses. Boy, there's a lot of backdoor run on the pitch from Duran, and got to say that pitch looked like it caught the inside corner, but not in the eyes of the home plate umpire. So here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball at 103 misses inside for a ball, and the count is 2-1. I often wonder if it is truly 103. I want to be the one holding the gun truthfully. I always like to see if the guns are juiced or not. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. 102-mile-an-hour heater blows right by Riley Green. Count goes to 2-2. The Tigers are down to their final strike and their final out here of the ballgame as Duran rocks and delivers. And there is a fastball swung on and fouled away. It was able to fight it off, was Green. Count remains at 2-2. Duran goes back, reaches for the rosin bag. And if he can do what he's doing now to the Tigers and do this down the stretch for the Phillies, this is going to be a jewel, that's for sure. Here comes the 2-2 offering. Right-hander rocks and delivers. Fastball swung on and missed. Green overmatched. He's gone for the third out of the inning, and the Phillies are going to win this one 2-0 against the Tigers. As there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board in the 9th inning. Your final score, the Philadelphia Phillies 2, the Detroit Tigers no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments to wrap this one up for you. Going to give you all the rundown from across Major League Baseball before we put this one to bed tonight. We'll be right back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to give you the recap of this one here, and then we're going to wind it up with the games from around Major League Baseball. Everything is now a final for today. This game here, well, the scoring came in the second inning for the Phillies. They got one run after Nick Castellanos led off with a single. Brandon Marsh doubled, and up stepped Max Kepler, and he grounded out to second base to bring home the first run of the ball game. 1-0, the Phillies had the lead. They didn't add to their lead until 2 out in the 8th inning when Kyle Schwarber took a 0-2 fastball from Tyler Holton to deposit it just to the left of the batter's eye. And that made the scoreline 2-0 for Philadelphia. And that's the way this one ended. For the game tonight for these two teams, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Phillies. No runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Tigers. That was as quick a game as you were going to see in under 2 hours and 10 minutes. It was 2 hours and 5 minutes to be precise. 41,569 in attendance at Citizens Bank Park. We'll look at the scores from around the MLB, and then we'll wrap it up tonight as we are going to be back on the airwaves tomorrow for some Japanese baseball. So hopefully you can join us and be there for that. Red Sox beat the Astros today 6-1, 6-8-0 for the Red Sox, 1-3-0 for the Stros. Giolito got the win. He goes to 8-2. Valdez the loss. He's 11-5. Dodgers beat the Rays today 3-0, 3-8-1 for the Dodgers, 0-7-0 for the Rays. Yoshinobu Yamamoto gets his 10th win of the year against 7 losses. Mason Englert takes the loss. He's 0-1. Kasparius gets the save. The completion of the game from Bristol Motor Speedway, I think they had a larger crowd last night. It looked like the rain had maybe had effect on who was in attendance today. Braves took care of the Reds today 4-2, 4-10-0 for Atlanta, 2-10-0 for the Reds. Waldrop gets the win. He's 1-0 for the Braves. Suter takes the loss. He's 1-2 for the Reds. Raciel Iglesias gets his 14th save for the Braves. Brewers knocked off the Nationals today 14-3, 14-16-0 for the Brew Crew, 3-7-2 for the Nats. Ashby the win. He goes to 2-1. Lord takes the loss. He's 2-6. In Toronto, the Blue Jays took one on the chin to the Kansas City Royals in extra innings, 7-4, 7-6-0 for the Royals, 4-8-2 for the Blue Jays. Hunter Harvey got the win. He's 1-0. Sir Anthony Dominguez takes the loss for the Jays. He goes to 2-4. Giants went into Queens and knocked off the Mets today in the getaway game, 12-13-1 for the Giants, 4-8-1 for the Mets. Wisenhunt gets his first win of the year for the Giants. Montas takes the loss. He's 3-2 for the Mets. Twins knocked off the Guardians today. Cody Funderburk gets the win in relief. He goes to 2-1. Cantillo takes the loss. He's 2-2. Ramirez gets his first save for the Minnesota Twins. Yankees get swept in Miami. Marlins beat them 7-3, 7-9-0 for the Marlins, 3-6-0 for the Yanks. My friend Gracie Lynn was giving us the highlights of that one earlier. Cabrera the win. He's 5-5. Luis Gil the loss. He drops to 0-1. In Chicago, the Cubs took care of the Orioles today 5-3, 5-11-0 for the Cubbies, 3-7-2 for the Orioles. Palencia gets the win. He's 1-2. Keegan Aiken takes the loss. In relief, he's 3-1. Pirates knocked off the Rockies and salvaged a trip to Colorado after getting beaten the first 2 games of that series. Mitch Keller gets the win. He's 5-10. Blaylock the loss. He is 1-3. Diamondbacks took care of the Athletics today 6-4. Eduardo Rodriguez gets the win. He's 4-7. Perkins the loss is 0-2. Nelson gets the save, his first for the Diamondbacks. 6-12-0 for the D-backs, 4-8-0 for the Athletics in that one. Angels beat the White Sox today, 8-5. Kenley Jansen the win in relief. He goes to 4-2. Alexander takes the loss. He's 4-10. 8-11-0 for the Angels, 5-10-1 for the Chi Sox. Your final again, 8-5 in that one. Padres behind Dylan Cease got the win today over the Cardinals. Padres 7-10-1. Cardinals 3-6-1. Cease is now 4-10 on the year. Palante takes the loss. He's 6-8. Roberto Suarez grabbed his 32nd save. And the last one on our hit list, it is the Mariners knocking off the Rangers 5-4 today. Logan Evans gets the win. He's 5-4. Jacob deGrom takes the loss. He's 10-4. And Andreas Munoz gets his 25th save of the year. Mariners get a victory today and split that series against the Rangers. All right, everybody. Well, once again, tomorrow night we will be back on the airwaves. Our friend Gracie Lynn is chipping along here, and we'll answer a couple of her questions before we sign off. She says it was low scoring and a quick game. 2 hours and 5 minutes is pretty insane. The Rays played a good game against the Dodgers yesterday, very entertaining. She says also she thinks the Brewers scored 40 runs in the 3 games against the Nats. I don't know if that says something about the Brewers or something more about the Nats in that one. And the game in Friday night, the Pirates blew that 9-0 lead and lost 17-16. Absolutely crazy. And Taylor Ward, who's having a pretty good year for the Angels, hit the walk-off home run for the Angels today in that one as well. All right, everybody, your final score, once again, Phillies 2, Tigers 0. We appreciate all of you who had stopped in to listen tonight. And we'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow night with some Japanese baseball. Hopefully you guys can join us for that one. Maybe even our friend Gracie Lynn will be back to share with that as well. We hope you have a great evening tonight. Again, your final score, Philadelphia with a 2-0 victory over the Tigers. We'll see you guys again tomorrow night. Hopefully you can join us as well. Have a great night, everybody.